Hello everybody, welcome to the short little build tutorial here for the satellite dish. I got a few requests from my Afterlife series where I built this in survival for my apocalyptic themed base, and I figured I'm going to go through, show you guys some of the different designs I went through in the creative process almost, and some of the trials and tribulations that I did, and also how to use some world edit functions to create this awesome looking satellite dish. So to start off, we're going to learn how to create the dish for the satellite. We're going to learn how to create a hollow sphere. Going to put a smooth stone border on it. Then we're going to put it up on its side, flip it 45 degrees, and then finally get to the actual dish. And then we'll take a look at how we built some of the base. So if I fly over here, so the command that you're going to be playing with is //hsphere. And then the next parameter is stone or whatever block you'd like. And I've already got it written out here, but it's going to be, at least for my satellite dish, I went with 32 block radius. So it goes X, Y, Z. So 32 block radius, 14 in the Y, 14 radius Y, and then 32 in the Z. So when we create that, you can see I'm inside of a giant hollow sphere that is not necessarily a sphere. It's more of an ellipse, an ellipsoid. It looks kind of like an Easter egg on its side. To get this like hollowed out look, we're going to //pose1, position 1. And I got to make sure that I'm in the correct spot. So we're going to just basically delete the top half, because when we created it, we don't necessarily want the whole thing. We don't really want the top half of this. And I got to make sure that it's perfect here. Okay, position 2. And we can do //set air. There we go. So now that we've got our hollowed out dish, we're going to add the smooth stone border. Now with the exact same selection that we have, you can't see it here, but the selection is essentially one block above this. We're going to do //shift1 down. So that's going to move the entire region one block down, which is now encompassing this layer. And we can do //replace stone with smooth_stone. And then you get sort of your border. Now, obviously, you can do this with any type of block. You could do concrete. You could do absolutely anything. Like all of these, the block types in this tutorial are going to be completely on your own. Okay, now that we've got the whole region selected, we're going to reselect it now. So we're going to do //position 1, and then we're going to come to the other side, obviously, select the bottom of it, //pose 2. There are thousands of ways you could be selecting all this stuff right now, and this is obviously not the most efficient way of doing it, but who cares, is what I say. You could do //copy. All right, so now that we've copied the region, we've got the whole cylinder inside. And an interesting thing with the copy selection, I'll just show this off here. Wherever you stand is where it's going to paste. Okay, so if I copy it and I'm standing in the middle here, it's going to paste with the region. I'm going to just show you here. If I do //paste, it's going to take a second to load in, but I am pretty much where I was standing when I copied it. Right, so you got to keep that in mind wherever you copy it. So if you copy it from way up here, right, it's going to be relative. Then you move a couple blocks this way and you paste it, it's going to now be like over there kind of deal. Okay, so now we're going to rotate it. So you can kind of choose which axis you want to rotate this on. If you see in the center of my screen, you've got those different lines. So the red is the X, the green is the Y, and the blue is the Z. So the X, Y, and Z, or you can also see the commands in the top left, or the numbers, right, obviously. So we're going to do //rotate, so we can rotate the sphere, or the dish. Now the rotate command, when we press it, you can actually see the arguments that it requires. So initially, it's going to be the Y. Now, the Y is the green that we looked at, right? So if you flip it on the Y, you're basically just turning it horizontally. You're not flipping it vertically or anything. You're just spinning it in a circle. Like absolutely nothing has changed. It's the exact same dish. For this, I'm going to do the Z because that's just what I like. because I like to be difficult like that. And then we're going to do 45-degree angle, which is going to flip it on a 45-degree angle, much like that. Now, it does say, at least in this version of the world edit that I'm using, interpolation is not yet supported, so angles that are multiples of 90 is recommended. We are just going to put a big fat no-no to that, and basically tell world edit, piss off. That is not what I want. I want it to be on a 45-degree angle, okay? You can't tell me what to do. You're not my mother. Now, I'm going to do / paste -a. -a means not withholding the air. So if that didn't make any sense to you, because it didn't when I said it, it means no air blocks. So just briefly, the -a command. So if we do / copy, I've selected from here to the sponge, / copy. Okay. And if we then go over to here and we paste it, / paste, you can see the region around here that I cleared out. Obviously, this is air. Is going to delete our current thing here. It's going to delete whatever blocks we've already got. So we're going to undo that. And if we then do / paste -a, look at that. The air basically gets deleted. So it'll only place solid blocks and then the air is still there. But anyway, back to our disgusting looking satellite dish now. Yeah. World Edit does not like interpolation, so you're going to have to now go around and fill in every single one of these holes, because that's what you have to do. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, isn't there an easier way to do this? There likely is. I am just too lazy right now to figure it out, and I would rather spend 20 minutes filling in one block holes than to really take the time and learn World Edit properly. All right, so let's pretend that I did all of that work. Obviously, I didn't because I'm lazy. And we've got the finished, beautiful-looking dish. Oh, wow, that's amazing. But before you go any further, and because I am so generous, I'm going to teach you a quick little tip trick. So what you're going to want to do is select this half of the cylinder. I really hope you didn't pause the video before and fill it all in, because if you did, I am so sorry. / pose 2. And now you're going to come up to the middle of anywhere. You can go to the bottom or the top. And essentially what you're going to do is / copy. Okay, you've selected half of this dish. And you're going to do / flip, facing in the direction you want to flip it. And then / paste. My golly, I just saved you 100 hours of work. Not really, probably like 15 minutes. But there you go. Now you've got a full-on cylinder, sphere. My goodness, I do not know geometry. Obviously, this tutorial is not intended for the faint of heart. This is just to show you the idea of how I built it, not exactly how I built it. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, on block number 32 on the XYZ axis, blah, blah, blah. You just basically have to figure it out yourself and do whatever looks good. So let me just demonstrate quickly how you're going to do that. You're going to click here, right? Then you want to find... you say roughly the middle, right? Wherever looks good. If you can just sort of fly around, you say, right about here looks good for the center of my radar. You're going to do / position 2, right? Now we've got basically a line drawn to the air, and we're going to do / line iron bars 1. Boom. We've got iron bars now. Look how easy that was. You can then go around and replicate the exact same thing in all 4 corners, keeping the second position in the exact same spot, because you know what? We're doing world edit, right? We're not doing this in survival. You're allowed to be a little bit lazy. All right, you can pretend that I did all of that work, and now we're going to do the sort of radar scanner. You can take a brief look at it. Boom, boom, boom. How easy does that look? And this is just a simple 90-degree ladder of sorts. And obviously, you can make this more interesting, more cool looking if you want. Go right ahead. This is the first iteration of the satellite detector thing that I made. Sort of supposed to be very pointy. Eventually, I opted for something that looks a lot better and is a lot smaller. You can design that yourself. But the next thing we're going to take a look at is the base of the tower. There are several different types of satellites that I looked at when designing this one initially. Most of them were Cold War era satellites, and they had these massive towering bases like this, which you can do, but I did not opt for that in the end. To build one of these, I'll show you very, very quickly a simple trick. You create a cylinder on the ground. So you do // hcyl, or for hollow cylinder. We're going to do sponge because that's very appropriate. And we're going to do it 15 blocks in the radius. All right, now we have to mark the center point. We're going to go all the way up to a specific spot. And we're going to generate another one, this time a little bit smaller. We're going to do 5. And then you can select the middle point of the cylinder. Go to the second point. You're going to do / line sponge. And this will essentially draw a line. So this is a great way to design cones in World Edit. Now, like I've said several times now, I am no master at World Edit. I'm just some simple scrub. And I'll show you my simple little trick here. / hcyl sponge 14. And you just sort of shrink it. And you can also add one more parameter for the height. Very cool. And basically, I go up with that all the way up to the top. So we're going to shrink it down by 1 to 13. It'll generate 2 high. We're going to then do it again, 2 more. And obviously, you rinse and repeat this. Of course, the texture of this is all to your own liking. Do whatever you want with that. One simple suggestion, most of the pictures I've seen have windows. So it would be really cool if you were to, at some point in here, punch out a little spot and then you could stick a window. But that is obviously not what I opted for. And as you can tell, I had a lot of troubles here figuring out how am I going to connect the dish to the base. I went through a few iterations, and as you can see, they did not turn out. My golly, did they not ever turn out. And I have not a good answer for you how to figure it out. However, most of the images that I did see on Google Images were generally like this. They had some form of backing to the satellite. A lot more framework was done in behind, so I'm sure if you wanted to, you could attach iron bars to this base. You do still want to, depending on how you want to do it, but you still want to keep some mobility in the satellite. If you want it to rotate and spin like on a disc, you could put a disc on the bottom here, make it spin around in circles. But generally, this is what I went with. You could obviously not flip the dish 45-degree angle. You could, do a straight upwards dish, maybe something looking more towards the stars and stuff. Once again, up to you. I'm not here to show you how to do it. You're just going to have to figure it yourself. My golly, am I ever rude today. I can show you this too. You might think of something. This might give you some inspiration. These are intended to be counterweights or some form of motor to the back of the satellite. This was going to connect to right there. I didn't find a proper spot to put it, although you could probably find a great use for something right around here and make it a disc that would sort of flip the satellite whoop, 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 back and forth and all that. But after about a day of work and puzzling around, I ended up coming up with this, and it actually reminds me a lot of a Star Wars build. So this is obviously a lot of different geometric shapes combined. So let's take a quick peek at how to do that. So the bottom layer is going to be smooth stone. So we're going to do / cylinder this time, not hollow cylinder, because we want it to be full. We're going to do smooth stone. Once again, any type of block you'd like. And we're going to do 15. All right, so we're going to mark our center position, make sure it's all good. And then we want to create the dark gray, or the just typical regular gray. We're going to do this time we're going to do hollow cylinder. We're going to do gray concrete. Wonderful. And we're going to do not 15. We have to shrink it a little bit. So we're going to do 10, but we want it to be at least 7 blocks tall, right? So this one's going to be a little bit bigger. I mean, this is all your own creativity. You can play around with this. And then we are going to create another smooth stone disc. Obviously, our concrete wall was 10, so we're going to have to find the middle of that, which is roughly 13 or 12, I would suggest, and it gives you a little bit of an overhang and enough space to then come in by hand. Oh my goodness, I know, by hand. Building by hand with World Edit. It's a scary time we live in, boys and girls. But you're going to come in here, add some minor dividers, super simple stuff, not even like worth showing you me building. Boom shakalaka, however that goes. All right, so the next thing you've got, obviously we can see that there's some sort of quartz motor in the bottom. So we're going to create another hollow cylinder, except this time it is going to be quartz block, and it is going to be less than 10. It's going to be 7. Yay, look at that. We did it. Very easy. Okay, go up one more block, create a regular cylinder that is smooth stone, and we're going to do that 9. Okay. So the general principle, once again, you want a tier. You're going to make it like a cake. It's going to tier. This one is obviously a lot smoother, so maybe the numbers aren't as good as what I had done for this one. And I think this gray area is a little bit too tall. Once again, that's up to your own tweaking, though. We're going to create another hollow cylinder, a sphere, sorry. So / hsphere, and we're going to do gray _ concrete. And this is going to be, so we can see our green. So we're going to want it maybe 2 in the X, maybe 2 in the Y, and then we're going to go with 15 in the Z. That's going to create a very unique shape, which is actually this center shape. My numbers obviously are not correct here, so maybe it's not 2, maybe it's 3. Let's try 10 this time. Oh yeah, that is looking a lot more realistic. Very much in the same look as that. And overall, it looks really good. This is what it looks like without the dish. The hook looks very strange. These hooks especially. And you want something that looks like it's supporting the dish up properly. So it's going to have some sort of whoop, right? Whoop. Imagine like my crosshairs drawing a line here. Whoop. Okay? You kind of get it, hopefully? I sure hope so, because I am not making any sense to myself, I don't feel. And then obviously I went in and I threw together some really mossy cobblestone. We're doing the exact same thing here with the H cylinder. Very straightforward stuff. And then I went ahead and threw down some sea lanterns all around the base of it with some carpets. And I did the exact same thing up top here, because the mobs that will generate beneath this giant dish, it is a massive sun blocker. That's what that thing is. It's unreal. So you may even want to go as far as putting some light gray carpet on top of this stuff. But that looks good. And even from the bottom with carpet, you cannot tell that even it's even there. So just keep that in mind. And finally, when it all comes together, you have yourself a glorious satellite dish in the theme of Endor, Star Wars. Looking very good. So anyway, guys, this was all built on the Afterlife SMP in survival mode. A little bit later for my apocalypse-themed base, which you can click on the playlist on screen right now, or you can watch the specific episode for it. Guys, if you enjoyed, please let me know, and I will make some more of these epic tutorials. I've got some other cool projects around here, and as the base progresses, gets bigger, there's a very good chance I will continue making these quick videos. All right, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll see you all next time.